President Rodrigo Duterte on the Day of Valor calls on Filipinos to defend the honor of our motherland as the freedoms that their heroes fought for are once again imperiled. The 76th Day of Valor, or Araw ng Kagitingan, commemorates the fall of Bataan in the Philippines during World War II. It also highlights the bravery of Filipino soldiers against invading Japanese forces. Duterte says immeasurable sweat, blood, and tears were shed, and countless lives were lost during this dark chapter in our history. He adds, quote, "It is thus disquieting that our commemoration of this historic occasion comes at a time when the very freedoms that the heroes of Bataan fought for are once again imperiled." The president, who previously said democracy and human rights make it hard for him to run the Philippines, warns about groups that disrespect democratic institutions. Duterte says, quote, "Forces who wish to see a weak and submissive Philippines continue in their unbridled disrespect for the institutions and laws that embody our aspirations as a people." This comes after a newly released World Justice Project Rule of Law Index says rule of law in the Philippines deteriorated significantly under the Duterte administration. From 70th in 2016, the Philippines now ranks 88th out of 113 countries in 2017. But Vice President Leni Robredo says tackling human rights in the Philippines has been a struggle. Robredo makes the remark during her talk at the London School of Economics and Political Science in the United Kingdom Friday. She is asked regarding President Rodrigo Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs. Robredo says, quote, "So it's been a struggle, and the struggle is real. You know, I have been placed in a lot of very controversial positions because of my statements on human rights. Believe it or not, for some reason, human rights has been given a bad connotation in the Philippines, and it has not been that way before. But for the very first time, many Filipinos regard human rights as a sort of a bad thing, and it's unfortunate." Robredo admits that while she had passionate views over human rights, she finds that when she talks about it, critics focus on her supposed ambition and alleged dreams of taking the presidency from Duterte. She says, quote, "What is sad about this is that one death is one death too many. But the debate has shifted to it's not 12,000, it's just 3,000. It's just 3,000. And 3,000 deaths is 3,000 deaths too many." Reports say North Korean officials told their United States counterparts Kim Jong-Un is ready to discuss denuclearization. It is the first time the offer was made directly to Washington, after it was previously conveyed through South Korean officials. Last month, Washington announced it agreed to a historic first meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Kim to be held by the end of May. Trump's decision to accept an invitation to talks dumbfounded foreign policy experts and caught his own staff off guard. But many remain skeptical whether this will succeed. Kim is likely to insist denuclearization includes withdrawing the promise of a U.S. nuclear umbrella to deter attacks on its treaty ally South Korea, and U.S. forces leaving the peninsula. Washington, meanwhile, will accept nothing less than Pyongyang giving up its nuclear arsenal, fuel enrichment, and ballistic missile program. An unauthorized biography of Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's fiancée, says she has her heart set on becoming Diana 2.0. Meghan, a Hollywood princess, will be released in Britain on Thursday. According to people who know her cited in the book, Markle is fiercely protective of brand Meghan and sidelines people as she moves ahead in life. The biography is authored by Andrew Morton, the British royal writer who penned the blockbuster Diana, Her True Story. Morton writes about Markle's fascination with Harry's mother Diana around the time of her death in 1997, watching her funeral in tears and old tapes of her marriage to Prince Charles. Family friends say she was intrigued by Diana not just for her style, but for her independent humanitarian mission, seeing her as a role model. Morton says comparisons with Diana are inevitable, given her humanitarian work and glamorous appeal. But he notes the crucial distinction between the timid Diana, who married Charles X, and the 36-year-old Hollywood actress. Morton says, quote, "In some ways, the groomed and camera-ready Miss Markle was the woman Diana always strove to become." The book also claims that as she finally found success as an actress, Markle shed her old acquaintances. Morton calls Markle a networker to her fingertips and says she seems to be carefully recalibrating her life.